everyone, welcome to part 3 of my series related to Walt Disney World, which I've simply entitled Walt Disney World 101. And again, these series are really designed to help the first-time visitor to the Walt Disney World parks. So if you're a veteran, you're going to hear a lot of repeat things. If you're a veteran, you're going to probably want to insert more opinion into the things I'm having to say, which is fine. But again, just keep in mind that these are really trying to help the first-time Disney visitor. And I'm trying to keep things fairly simple because, again, as we've already touched on, when you go out to the internet, even to Disney's own site, the whole process can be a little bit overwhelming. And I'm trying to simplify things to a certain degree, so just to make the process a little easier, so you can plan your first trip and then go on your trip, and then as with any vacation, you'll come back with a lot more experience and a lot more knowledge, which will naturally influence the next trip that you make to Walt Disney World. So with that said, go back if you haven't already. If you're a visitor to YouTube, just seeing this video for the first time, or if you're also looking at my blog where these videos are embedded, go back and you'll see part 1 and part 2. Part 1 where I talked about, again, determining your budget, and then going through the various on-site options, and again we're addressing somebody staying on site. I addressed the different varieties of resorts that Disney offers, the different levels, and helped you try to understand what distinguishes each level from another. Then the last episode, part 2, we discussed the ticketing process as far as the types of tickets that you can buy and how Disney arranges their tickets and the options that they give you to add on to those tickets. And today I want to talk about the parks in general. And I'm going to be hard pressed to stay away from the opinion arena today, because naturally when you start discussing the parks, it's hard not to try to talk about maybe your favorite or your favorite ride or what makes a particular park a favorite in your eyes. And what I've found on the internet is you'll hear people, and frankly you'll even hear them once you go to the parks, you will hear people on the buses or whatever talk about how they really prefer one park over another, or some people have said, you're really just wasting your time to maybe go to a park like the Animal Kingdom. I actually heard one person on a bus refer to the Animal Kingdom as nothing more than a big zoo, and this person couldn't understand why anybody really wanted to spend that much time in that park, and that kind of flabbergasted me to a certain degree, because that's just simply not true. So again, I'm trying to help you understand the facts so you can make the best decision in your planning process. So let's start with, and we're going to discuss today basically the 4 parks. There are water parks that you can go to, but if you're a first-time visitor, I think it would be very overwhelming to you if you tried to visit all 4 parks plus the 2 water parks. So I'm trying to, again, keep things simple and make you realize you will need at least 1 full day planned in at least one of the parks. You may then want to schedule the next, if you have a 6-day or 7-day trip, you might want to use those flex days, as I call them, to go back and visit one of the parks that you didn't get a chance to do everything you wanted to do on the previous days. So let's start first with, naturally, the Magic Kingdom. The Magic Kingdom is the cornerstone of Disney. It was the first park developed in Walt Disney World back in the early 70s. And the Magic Kingdom appeals to everybody. Now, naturally, you're going to assume that the Magic Kingdom will appeal mostly to children, and again, that's just simply not true. Every one of the parks has something for all age groups. The Magic Kingdom has thrill rides. Space Mountain is considered a thrill ride. Big Thunder Mountain is considered a thrill ride. Splash Mountain is considered a thrill ride. Then you have a lot of the rides in Fantasyland geared towards the children, such as Dumbo, Peter Pan, It's a Small World, Winnie the Pooh, etc. And then you've got other types of attractions that are really for all age groups, grandparents, parents, children, etc., such as Mickey's PhilharMagic, the 3D experience. It's a great attraction for all age groups. You've got the Hall of Presidents, which again is something for everybody, and I think every generation would appreciate that, because there's a president in there from basically anybody that's still alive from their generation. So I want you to see that the Magic Kingdom isn't just for children. Magic Kingdom is great just to walk around and see the various sections of the park, from Adventureland to Frontierland to Liberty Square to Fantasyland to Tomorrowland. And so you're going to find when you go to the Magic Kingdom that yes, there's a whole section, especially Fantasyland, you could technically classify as for the children, but all of these other sections of the park just have something for everybody, and it's a great park to spend at least one full day, if not at least planning on spending 2 full days. And it has one of the best, and here's where I get into my opinion, one of the best fireworks shows anybody will ever see, and that's Wishes, the Wishes fireworks show at the end of the day. So you're going to want to plan a full day, regardless of your age, in the Magic Kingdom. And again, the Magic Kingdom has some of the best shopping up and down Main Street for souvenirs and things like that, and also one of the best bakeries. I'm inserting my opinion. The Main Street Bakery has some of the best cinnamon rolls that you'll ever be able to get. So again, whether you like to ride rides or not, there is something for everybody at the Magic Kingdom. Then you're going to move over to Epcot. And I'm basically going to do these in chronological order as far as when these parks were developed. You go over to Epcot, and again, people might think, well, Epcot's really not for kids. It's going to be more geared towards adults. And again, that's just simply not true. There is something for everybody in Epcot. Yes, Epcot has wonderful thrill rides. Soarin' is considered a thrill ride, but it's really great for all ages. You've got Test Track, which again is in the thrill ride category. But again, everybody from all ages can ride that ride. And then you have Mission Space, which there's certain requirements that you'll have to pay attention to for Mission Space as far as height and even health requirements now. But again, Mission Space is a great thrill ride. But then you've got things for kids to do in the Kid Cot areas of the World Showcase, and you've got the other areas of the park where there's a lot of interactive things for kids to learn about science and the environment and things like that. That I think you're going to want to spend some time with your children taking them to. And again, if you take them to even to the World Showcase, each country has the little Kid Cot area where they can sit down and learn a little bit about that country, whether it's France or Great Britain or Morocco or any of the countries represented in the World Showcase in Epcot. There's great things for kids, as well as experiences like Maelstrom in Norway, and the Three Amigos ride, which I love in Mexico, where you get to go through Mexico, but you're visited along with Donald Duck and his Three Amigos. So, with the Three Caballeros, excuse me. And so I think you're going to see that when you get to Epcot, again, regardless of your age, there's something for everybody in Epcot. So again, you're going to want to plan one full day at least in Epcot. Some people will plan an entire day just to spend going on the thrill rides, and then maybe go back and spend another full day or at least a half a day at the World Showcase, because there's just so much to see and so much to learn, and snacks and so many things to eat as you're working your way through the World Showcase in Epcot. So now we're going to go over to Hollywood Studios. This is probably the one park where people think it's, even more so than Epcot, people think it's really designed towards the thrill seeker. And again, simply not true. Yes, it has two of my favorite thrill attractions anywhere in the world, or anywhere as far as United States amusement parks go, in the way of Tower of Terror and Aerosmith's Rock and Roller Coaster. They're two of my favorite. And yes, there's height requirements and things like that for those rides, so not every child will be able to go on those attractions. But then again, if you look at Hollywood Studios from an every age standpoint, you've got now the Toy Story Mania attraction, which is a 3D interactive game. It's fantastic. It's now way up the top of my list, if not my most favorite attraction out of all the parks. And but again, that's all age groups, young, middle, and adult, grandparent, it doesn't matter. They're going to love that attraction. Then you've got some of the best shows anywhere you'll be able to see. You've got the Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular. You've got Beauty and the Beast, the musical. There's, again, so many things to do in these parks for every age group. And I'll just show this to you now. This is something I usually send my clients if they've got children that are around the age of 5 or less. This is basically a pamphlet that Disney puts out showing you that every park, and this covers every park, has attractions for kids the years of 5 years old, and younger. So if you happen to be a client of mine, you'll get one of these if you have children of that age, or you can request them from your travel agent that you may know, or even from Disney. But this will help you see that every park has something for the children as well. So again, Hollywood Studios, don't discount Hollywood Studios. Don't think that you can get by with maybe avoiding Hollywood Studios because you think it only has attractions for the older. And last but not least, the Animal Kingdom. Surprisingly, when I went to the Animal Kingdom for the very first time several years ago, I was shocked of how much I loved it. We really thought we would probably spend less time there and to find less things that my wife and I really particularly enjoy to do because we don't have children. But I found out quickly that it has some of the best thrill rides anywhere. Expedition Everest is a fantastic roller coaster. Dinosaur is a great ride for all ages. And even the little Primeval Whirl is a fun little thrill ride, if you want to call it that. And then you've got the Kali River Rapids and the Kilimanjaro Safari, which again is great for all ages. And then again, two of the best shows you're going to find anywhere in the way of the Festival of the Lion King and Finding Nemo, the musical. And then again, there's all sorts of things for kids to do. In Dino Land USA, there's all sorts of little interactive things that they can go do to kind of learn about dinosaurs and that prehistoric period of our world. And so please do not think or do not let somebody try to tell you that the Animal Kingdom is nothing more than a big zoo. That's just simply not the case. Now, it's one of the largest parks because of the fact it has Kilimanjaro Safari. So please pack accordingly as far as comfortable shoes, especially for that day, and plan on doing a lot of walking, which means you're probably going to have to take lots of breaks if you have children, young children with you. But it has everything for every age group. So I think hopefully I've helped you see that all of the parks at Walt Disney World have something from the smallest of children up to the teenagers who seek the thrill ride attractions, up to the adults who may be looking for both thrill rides and also great shows and some more sedate things to do, and then also for the grandparents who may just want to go along and check out the scenery and all the various things that they can see in each one of those parks. So again, if you got any questions, please send them to me and I'll answer more specifically about the parks, but I'm trying really so very hard to stay out of the opinion arena when it comes to these parks, and hopefully I've given you something that shows you that you need at least a 4-day trip to Walt Disney World. And again, next segment, I'm going to delve into dining, and trust me, it'll be very, very hard for me not to get into more of the opinion area of my videos. So when we touch on the dining aspects of Disney. And really, I'm not going to talk about the various restaurants as much as I'll be talking about the dining options and the way that Disney breaks them down from quick service to table service to snacks, etc. So, thanks for watching again, and please send comments, questions, whatever, and I'll be glad to respond.